If you take a rough diamond and polish it, a good diamond cutter with experience will get the brilliance out, and the value of that rough diamond as a finished diamond probably would be 15 times or 20 times. But if you take a human being and polish it, mentor, educate, make them learn different things, the value add is infinite, no matter how you measure it.
If you do marketing well, then you are using your resources more effectively, and that's in the society's interest. And making those choices is not easy, but marketing helps you make those choices. And if you make good choices, then everybody benefits.
Rapid changes in technology, globalization, the changing consumer preferences and behavior around the world, those kinds of things have made the domain of marketing, the phenomena we study, change very, very rapidly. And at the same time, some of our crucial organizations like the Sheth Foundation are reaching important milestones.
Most of us don't even think about the Sheth Foundation in financial terms. We think of the Sheth Foundation as the opportunity it creates to enhance knowledge.
Research is something that very directly contributes to the development and advancement of a discipline, and marketing is a relatively young discipline.
The Sheth Foundation has in some sense permeated the culture, the values and beliefs of scholarship in marketing and international business very widely.
Giving back to a discipline is unique. Not many people have the foresight, so to speak, to look at a discipline that will actually change the way society operates.
I think there is nothing more satisfying than giving back. And I've learned that giving back while you are alive is more enjoyable than after you die.
The foundation's origins basically were the idea that the most effective way to give would be to build these organizations that are linked to the development of marketing as a discipline.
And so the Sheth Foundation is kind of like a hub in a network, or the glue in pieces in a puzzle that helps these organizations work together, like connecting people. And that's pretty critical as our field has A, become more specialized, and B, become much larger.
There are 4 organizations that we've got our primary relationship with. That would be the Association for Consumer Research, the Association for International Business, Academy of Marketing Science, and the American Marketing Association. Each of those associations is a major player, if not the major player, in its own domain. They all kind of have a different piece of the puzzle.
As opposed to giving to a university where it might have impact on that university, which would be important, it's giving more broadly to the discipline.
The first big project was to collect some books in marketing for libraries in developing economies.
The libraries couldn't afford the journals, and we made a partnership with the organization that we would provide the costs for shipping the journals if they would provide the journals basically at cost or free for us.
And that was an extremely successful project to really seed some libraries that had nothing, basically.
Just making sure that people had basic access to state-of-the-art knowledge. I would imagine just the journal program alone has had a profound impact.
One of the cornerstone projects has been working with the American Marketing Association on the establishment and building the financial stability for the doctoral consortium.
The doctoral consortium started back in the 60s, and it went all right for a while because everybody's enthusiastic, and then they say, well, who's going to pay for this? Who's going to have the money to make this thing be sustainable over a long period of time? The Sheth Foundation stood up and said, the foundation will.
The consortium is probably the model for the best kind of event that you can have in marketing. It invites a student nominated by each business school to come to this special conference once a year, at which they hear sort of the very best top people in marketing talk about their areas of expertise. It's sort of a formative experience in your life.
It's a great honor for doctoral students to be invited to it, and it's one of those lifelong kind of things that they look back 20 years and the contacts they made there, the connections they made there. So it's a very high prestigious, very important event.
The doctoral students are a very interesting group, and I was one myself. So, here we have boundless motivation and energy and curiosity, but we are constrained financially.
The Sheth Foundation has sponsored Best Paper Awards in many of the top journals. It's been very gratifying to see over the years that the quality of the papers published in these journals have gone up, as indeed the quality of the papers that receive these awards has gone up.
The awards themselves really get students to be motivated, sort of a signal that, they really are doing good work. The dissertation award grant was of $2,000, which is a huge amount as a PhD student. It had actually multiple sort of objectives or multiple benefits. One was the direct monetary implication of being able to use that money and do something with real products and experiments. That got me started. The relevance of using actual products in the experiments, that made sense. And that actually had a trajectory move that's still going on, and all my current ongoing research projects. I came to personally know Professor Jack Sheth at a personal level much later. That was in 2003 when I was at the doctoral consortium. He was a really great mentor. He had the big picture idea of how to move forward. And even now, I still remember many of the things he told me in 2003, so that's 8 years ago. And they're still relevant for me when I'm doing my research in terms of the big picture.
Many people at his level are only interacting with the stars in the field. And I think Jag gets far more pleasure out of interacting with the new people in the field, trying to inspire and help the people who can most benefit from the skills and expertise that he has.
Sometimes I wonder if he sleeps, but in the later parts of his professional life, it was clear he began to think about how can I recognize people who've helped me.
You can single Jag out as somebody who has just given back more than you can even imagine.
We want to encourage marketing education, marketing research globally, on a global basis. Currently a special emphasis on the emerging countries and emerging economies.
Globalization is taking place, but the real growth engine is emerging markets. In emerging markets, even today, 65-70% of all consumption is totally unbranded products.
We really see it as an opportunity for knowledge transfer, that we don't see ourselves as the ones who know because we don't know the emerging markets like they do.
In developing economies, marketing is very important because it's the ability to better identify consumer needs, which enhances the consumer's well-being, and when done well, enhances the profitability of companies. They're enabling them to pay higher wages and enhance shareholder wealth, and therefore the whole economy is the beneficiary of that system.
That's where the Sheth Foundation actually plays a strong role, and in the future can also play a strong role, like encouraging research which actually enhances consumer welfare or people's welfare, making people's lives better through healthy choices. And the good thing is it seems to be starting or catching on.
He's created the infrastructure that'll be self-sustaining, and obviously the corpus of the foundation, the capital that we have to work with is self-sustaining. It's a very professionally run organization, so it'll go on.
I just hope that we can grow and grow and grow and just help more and more students, around the world. That's the thing to look forward.
A lot of great marketing scholars have contributed their time and their wisdom, and they're very passionate about this foundation, which itself says that they are also committed to the foundation's mission, which is to encourage next generation of scholars to be passionate about the discipline and invest in their future.